here in the studio, as he is every Wednesday, to take your legal questions. So if you've got one, you've got something you need some advice on, go ahead and get on the line right now and give us a call. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Well, let's talk about this hard 50. We've heard about it and how state legislators are going to be voting on it, and sometimes it's a little bit confusing. Breaking it down for us, how much of a change are we going to see once this law is changed?
Well, what it really means, hard 50 really kind of what it means is that the penalty for like a killing someone in the first degree is life. So if what you normally would do is you do 25 years and then you'd be eligible for parole. With a hard 50, you have to do 50 years and then you're eligible for parole, which is basically most people's lives if
right.
they're an adult. And then you'd have to be an adult to get there. So we're talking 68 at minimum, really. And what they used to do is you'd get convicted by the jury, and then the judge would decide, based on certain factors, whether you should have the hard 50 or the 25 years. And what the courts are saying is we have a constitutional right to a jury trial, so a jury is supposed to decide whether those factors are proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the jury would make those decisions, and the jury deciding that is what you're constitutionally entitled to, not a judge to decide that. So all they said was, and all the change is that a jury decides that rather than a judge. It's kind of simple. The judge should not have been deciding those factors. The jury should have been deciding those factors. That's all the court said, and that's all the changes in the rules.
Okay, simple as that.
It's pretty simple, actually.
Got it. Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and get to the phones now this morning. Hi there. What's your question for Charlie? Good morning. What's your question?
Yes.
Hi there. Go ahead. You're on the line.
5 years ago, I had dentures, a full set of dentures put in. And I have been paying on those ever since, and my insurance paid a bunch also. Well, they have never fit. And I have went back many, many times trying to get them to fit in the last 5 years. Now the dentist has left the state. Do I have any recourse in this?
Well, probably since it happened 5 years ago, I would think not, because it's been 5 years and you should have done something about it way long ago. However, there's some specific things that you might be able to get into that may have extended that. I don't know what kind of a recourse you're going to have. You got 5 years use out of them. I don't know. I mean, if you really want to see an attorney about it, you could. I kind of doubt because of the length of time. If something wrong happens, you need to get it taken care of quickly. If you're going to go to court, you need to go to court quickly. You shouldn't wait a long time, and if somebody delays you and puts you off, that's probably not doing the right thing. You ought to act pretty quickly, actually.
And that kind of a situation, let's say she did go back a few times and they just never fit. Could she have sought another opinion and then, you know, got some recourse that way?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, if she would have gone back, you know, a couple of times, within a year or so, a bunch of times, and it never worked out, then she probably would have had some action. But if you keep going back and it goes on 5 years, well, you've really got some use out of what you've been given. I mean,
okay.
5 years is quite a while. And usually the law says, well, we got to act pretty quick or we're not going to get into this.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Good question. Okay, we have time now for one more. We're going to go on the line now. Good morning. Are you there? What's your question for Charlie?
Yes. How you doing, Charlie? I was put on disability, and I filed back in '95. They only paid me back 2 years. Would they? I mean, should they have paid me back to '95 or?
Well, I don't know the specifics of your case, so it's a little hard to answer that question. If you filed in '95 and you didn't get any money till today, it would seem like if you've been disabled that whole time, you should get paid for the whole time. But I don't know whether the law changed in your regard or whether you became more disabled 2 years ago. I don't know all the specifics, so it's a little hard to tell. Usually, on a disability claim, once you file, based on what's wrong with you at that time, it would go back to the time that you filed. But there's exceptions to everything in the law. That's why you usually need to go to an attorney to find out, and that's why we all can't always say yes or no to something, because there's always an exception in the law depending on the facts and the circumstances.
Well, and I'm sure you've seen no two cases are rarely alike.
Yes, people think they are, and we try to make, the law is the same, but sometimes the facts vary wildly.
Right, and of course, on the show, we're just dealing with generalities at this point.
That's
so
correct.
Talk
Yes.
to an attorney. Thank you, Charlie.
Okay,
Have a good week.
Okay.